white to play. 3 minutes. White move here is e5. And white here missed. He didn't play e5. He played bishop f3. And there was one interesting idea which Anshumanji said, that knight e1, knight this, but this is too slow. But it is a great idea which I really appreciate. I mean, if it is like a position, if it is like a positional position or a close position, this is okay, such kind of maneuver. But here it is all about momentum. I mean, it's like this can be like killing move e5. If a knight g8, then bishop h5 is there, because you cannot. And if this, then this is move is there. And the rook into f6. This threat is deadly. So, rook a8 here, white spent 20 minutes and he didn't find. So probably he considered e5. So he didn't see, either it's very difficult to say whether he missed queen e1, queen e6 move. So okay, it is an interesting point. And when you study the recent games, you will understand. So Arjun Erigaisi saw this game, this Caruana game. So after this only bishop g4 became very popular, this move. So he must have seen this game and he would have analyzed everything till end. I mean, till end means he will try to go as much depth as he can. And when you are playing against some, because nowadays with black, white can make so many draws that you have to take risk and play dubious lines. I mean, if you want to play dubious lines, it is important to know everything first. I mean, before bluffing, you should know the entire things properly. You want to play some sideline, you want to bluff with opponent, the right mindset is to learn everything clearly, in depth, the main line also. Once you learn everything, even though when you bluff also, you will have a lot of confidence within you. So people just play sidelines and then they don't pay attention to the main lines of the theory. Now, this is very wrong approach and you will not improve much if you have this kind of mentality. So bishop here, here. So queen, and you think when Caruana and all these players, see, do you think Caruana doesn't know this thing? He's playing bishop g4 move. Do you think Caruana don't know all this thing, main line here? Here there are like how many moves? What the hell is this? b4, knight e1, knight d2. All this is like standard main position. This is the main theoretical position. He must have studied everything from black side and white side. Then he's playing bishop g4 move. So when you see some top player games, when they are playing some sidelines, they don't have this false understanding that they are playing sidelines. No, they are not playing sidelines. They know everything, and then they are just adding some variation. They analyzed everything. That's the top players' mentality. So when you see the recent games, you will understand the trend, what top players are playing. So that's why it's very important to see all the recent games, so that you will know, let's say in move number 7, 8, if some players are playing certain moves, like if a top player is playing, then it means that he analyzed everything else and he finds this move is a really challenging move for black or white. So that's why it is important to study the recent games. It's like there was one interview of Ding Liren I read some years ago. He said, I always study Twig, because if you study Twig, you will have less effort to do. I mean, you will have less work to do. Because top players are always constantly analyzing many variations. So if you follow blindly some top players, more or less you will be in the right direction. You don't have to do that much effort. I mean, in a way, I'm sounding like I'm trying to tell you do less work. It is not the case, but I'm trying to say that you'll be in the right direction, at least if you follow the trend of top players. You'll be in the right direction, because sometimes players cannot afford coach. So this is they can just follow some top players. So this was the game, and he missed this point, and it was a disaster. And then White didn't get much chance after this also. Is black to play. Okay, so here in this position, black played knight f8 and queen g5 is a blunder. Takes b4 and it is winning for white. This is the king. It is difficult to see, and white is winning here. So, but this was not the real question I wanted to ask. Position, black played knight f8, which is a blunder. And here black should have played queen e7, take this, and it is total compensation. It's this is nothing special for white. So here the real question starts from here. Knight f8. What will you play as white? 2 minutes time. e5 is the move. After fe5, yes, f6, and white is able to collect all these things. And if after this, why everyone is saying c5 move? I don't understand. They're giving all the 4 pawns. I mean 1, 2, 3. I mean 3 pawns. Why you have to give? Just give this also. This is fine. And bishop e4. So I mean maybe c5 works, but okay. Let me think whether it is. Maybe it's not required. That's why probably c5. Maybe it is working. Maybe.
After bishop e4, knight d7.
Knight
d7.
Knight d7. Bishop d5, king f8, b4, a4. Now the queen is tied down to king's f8. I mean, okay, interesting.
Yeah, and then probably b4 a5.
Probably, I didn't hear you.
I said b4 a5 can be that.
Yeah, yes, that is possible. Even direct also b4. Why we have to play? Probably direct also b4 possible. So
I think with direct c5 it's forced.
Possible, interesting. No, it's important to see the e5 idea. You know, when I showed this Arjun Erigaisi game, this game. So it was which game? This game, right? So when I showed Arjun Erigaisi game, this e5 move, I got this election idea because I have seen this many, months ago, probably years ago. I saw this game idea. But you should know all these pawn breaks. In 16 or in 2011 or 12. So when I was flying with Shashi Kiran, he was showing me games because he's such a big player. I didn't expect he will see chess with me. I mean, he's a very nice guy, very humble. And I learned a lot of things from him. I mean, we were sitting in airport and he said, we were doing nothing, absolutely nothing. So he said, open your laptop, let's see chess. I really got surprised. I mean, generally, when you are with big players, they try to avoid chess. They don't like to share their knowledge. But he's such a great human being. He told me to let's see chess. So while analyzing games, and he showed me and he told me to let's see your games, and he did it for free of cost. And when I showed my games, he said he worked only in pawn breaks for many camps are like he studied specially pawn breaks. So like games like this he must have studied. So when you study games like this, like a lot of examples, when you study this kind of moves will come naturally to you, like this e5, and in the game with this e5. There was one game, remember two days ago I showed the Anand versus Lamy game, g4 move, king side. in the group, everyone? Saina, remember? Anand game? Anshuman is saying yes. Milan, do you remember this Anand G4 game?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yes. So by seeing those games, so by pushing the pawn, kingside pawn, G4, it is very difficult. But for level like Anand, it is easy. Because it is, don't think it's like out of magic that move came to his mind. He must have studied throughout his career all these things. So he must have taken some time to consider G5 moves, the pros and cons, because he's weakening his king. But all those things, it is like very natural to him. I mean, just because he studied all these things. So Anshuman is saying those moves don't even come into our candidate moves list. Yes. So it doesn't come because it's because of less chess study. When you consistently every day, even for 1 hour or 2 hours, because you have office and other things you have to take care. But if you are consistent, if you are paying attention to the small details, just study one game, but do it properly, then in the long run you will see that you have covered many things. But if you are not systematic, even if you see daily 2 hours, if you just play bullet games also, you will not improve much. Systematic, even 1 hour chess also, family man also cannot improve. So here actually queen c8 is the strong move and his opponent, but there is another interesting point I want to say. Look at this game. Here probably Arjun forgot. Look, he thought for 21 minutes. If he thought for like 4 to 5 minutes, I understand. Maybe he went to washroom and his opponent played the move and okay, 3-4 minutes gone. But 21 minutes, probably he got confused here in move order. I don't know what. But it's very difficult to say why someone can think for 21 minutes. And also player like Arjun, this is move number 7. Is only he can only share. So queen b3, queen b6, and here look at this. Here knight e5 is a strong move. This was my analysis few months back. I did analyze when I analyzed this bishop f4 London system. So that time I analyzed, but it is to be honest, I also forgot knight e5. What is the right move here? I had to check my analysis. Here the logical moves like queen c8 and queen b6 I analyzed, but I forgot what is the right move here. So it is very normal that even such a genius player like Arjun, but here it is very surprising. I mean, once his opponent played queen b6, he took it immediately. Only he took 51 seconds, and probably he could have spent more time also. But okay, he had something in his mind. So whenever you are studying the games, before judging someone, like we tend to have, because we are running with everyone is seeing nowadays with engine, we judge everyone very quickly. So try to also see the timing behind each and every move, like how I'm seeing this chess24 or any other platform. You can see the timing, so that in the move number 30th, when you are thinking why this guy played this stupid move, maybe he's under time pressure, you will understand much deep practical psychology. You can understand by yourself when you look at the timings of a player, how much time he spent. King f1, 26 minutes. So okay, but I wanted to say this critical point. Knight e5, bishop, the bishop b5, and white is clearly better in this position, and white is winning because this threat is there. Knight e5 was good move, but this is the first round game, he didn't get anything special. And okay, black is fine. Okay, h5 is probably equal plus is too much. I don't think equal plus. I mean, this engine was saying black is absolutely fine. Black position is very comfortable. So there's this, and here it is already mistake. f3 is the right move, and it was a game. But okay, this was a very interesting idea I saw, so I just put this game. I think okay, yes. So this game is important. Explain the importance of thinking in the right order. Okay, so here if it is white to play, what will you play for 1 minute? Okay, like 2 minutes time maximum. But then I will explain how mostly. There are two moves, knight c d2 and rook d1. So here white thought for, I mean, wait, let me go to this guy. Game. Look at this position. I don't know why he thought for your 9 minutes. Doesn't make any sense. Probably he must be knowing all these things. Without knowing, you don't do this kind of thing. So here he thought for 10 minutes. There is one thing I want to say, that every chess player has some understanding of inner beauty of chess. Every chess player has. You know, they say this is the brilliant move. This is like a move you feel like whenever see this move, you say, wow, such an amazing move. But there is something called how this say, false understanding of beauty. You know, you want to make this idea work. You somehow try to make this work because it will look beautiful at the end of the day. Once when the variation will go like this, and at the end you will reach that position, and according to your false understanding of beauty, you think that you played amazing game, or the variation you thought it's really good. So I mean, once your chess understanding grows with time, your false understanding about beauty will also reduce, and it will be like appropriate. It will be in balance. So many players lost many important rounds, or they missed many important chances in just to appreciate the false understanding of beauty. Many players lost. Maybe I might have missed. I don't remember right now, but I might have messed up many situations in this topic. So if you have a very simple move, and it will lead to your target, if your target is to play for advantage, or you can win the game with simple moves, let's say, just pick that one and collect the point. Don't try to show off. Don't aim for best game prize. I mean, if it is like mate in 2 or mate in 3, if you see everything till end, just go for it. But you know, when you are not so sure, with this false understanding of beauty, most of the time produces poor results. Every player improves with time, and maybe there is a good chance that you will make mistakes, but keep this in mind and try to not to fall for this. So here white thought for a long time, 10 minutes. You see here he thought for 9 minutes. Probably why they spent 9 minutes time, just to calm down their nerves. They spend 9 minutes time because sometimes you are excited. What will happen? This line he can play, or that line he can play. Once you get these positions, once this position you reach, now you know this is the line. Now this is what it is. So this time, sometimes the player spend too much time just to calm down their nerves, because they prepared so many lines. You can play this or that, this, that. You have to remember so many variations before the round. When actually this position arises, you are a bit somewhat relaxed. You don't see when he prepared. Like white can play also even knight b d2 also, because Srinath also gave this move as an interesting thing, knight d2. So just to calm down, he can spend. But here somewhat, see, when he reaches this position, here if you are confused in the game, because even if your memory is, you are a genius, let's say, but you will forget. After all, you are a human being, and they like how to say it. Let me think how to put it in the right way. Even though how many times you repeated the variation, you analyze. Even though I considered my memory is really good, but even though many times I revised, I forget the variations. Any top players, I think everyone goes through the same problem. So sometimes I forgot. I saw things 3-4 days ago, and I forgot the variation. And I saw 10 times before that also. But you sometimes forget. So when you forget, so when this position arrived at the board, he had some idea in his mind. All these things he saw. So here he took for 38 minutes. Here he could have played queen d1. This was, I wanted to ask as a training. Okay, so I will ask this thing position. I'll pause this screen. Here white to play. As a white, what will you play? You have 3 minutes time. Okay, so here white played rook into a6. It was a blunder, and this is lost for. So probably he got confused here. So look, here he spent 38 minutes. And I must tell you that this is all Arjun Erigaisi's preparation. Okay, so don't think that he didn't know all this thing. Here bishop a6 is the another main line, which is so like a big work. So it was which now let me recall what is all this analysis. Rook d1. This. Wait. Did I forget anything? Wait. Bishop into c5. If bishop a6. What is the line? Let me recall. Yes, knight e3, knight d7, takes, rook d1 or c6, I think. I think it was c6, rook c8. Now what? Bishop f4, knight c5. Let me recall what are the line. Knight c5, there was this c7. Yes, c7, queen d7, knight d2, bishop into e2. There is this girlfriend stuff. Because there was a girlfriend game, then there is one knight b3. White will play now knight b3 after some point. Here knight b3 white will play, and white was supposed to be better. So this position is better for white, objectively. So this is the variation. But okay, so in the game, this is like it's a dubious move. Bishop c5 is a dubious move, but white should know this. It's like by heart, white should memorize or like remember or understand this. If you forget something, like you might get into trouble. So when you reach this position, so obviously he spent 10 minutes time. Obviously he's trying to recall his analysis, or maybe he forgot to analyze this variation. Both the things are possible. But I think the kind of player he's worked with, he worked with all these top players. So I don't think he missed this move for sure. When you work with players like Anish Giri level, you don't miss such stuff. But okay, so here if you are confused over the board, just your calculating abilities. Because if you calculate, there is a very good chance you will either obviously you cannot recall, but you will mix things here and there. This thing you will add here, that thing you will add there. Many times it happened with me. So it is very difficult because I love to work in opening, and if I forget something, I will put so much emphasis, and it's like I will scold myself that how the hell I can forget this. Because many of my students, they work a lot in opening. If you forget these things, like those, because nowadays working on opening is a big trend. Everyone is putting a lot of emphasis in opening. So if you forget at all, at any moment, Don't try to recall. Try to start from the basics. Calculate here, like rook d1, knight b d2, normal simple stuff. See, compared to what happened in the game, he just messed up, right? Just rook into a6 is a blunder and lost. It is much better just to play this simple moves like knight b d2 and continue the game. This I am saying, this advice is for those who studied opening very thoroughly, not for the one who doesn't know opening, or not for those who didn't study this variation at all, let's say. So those who studied, if any variation, this is just an example, Roy Lopez, beat Arcangel Roy Lopez, or any French Caro-Kann dragon, anything, because Saina plays dragon. So there is a very good chance at the board you will forget. So have fresh approach, think normally. But if you try to, Saina says I changed. Okay. So wait, why this chat is thinking? Okay. She says she's changed and she's playing another opening. Okay, so if you forget something, try to think and try to find the logical move, calculate. Trust your calculating abilities than your memory once you forget. Especially this advice is applicable when you are in complicated positions. Here queen d1, here now b7 is the move, is the right move. If queen into f1, then bishop into f2, black is winning. So you have to see b7, this, and I think this move is winning, or like white is clearly better. This push. This is a blunder. Queen f1, and if you play this, and white is better clearly. And this line is also white is better. Probably this only white can play for advantage, this position. So even moves like this was also fine. Only white has chance to play for advantage. Even moves like rook d1. But look, he spent a lot of time here, knight cd2. Obviously, when he plays moves like this, obviously he knows knight cd2. Which doesn't mean that, see, if this position, if white is a 2600 player and he doesn't know theory, he will not play moves like this. He will play move like rook d1, knight b d2. He knew that knight b d2 is the right move, and he could not remember the other move things, other continuation, full variation, entire things. So in such position, it is better to be more practical and play moves like rook d1. I have messed up many things like this. I remember something, but I'm not able to recollect the entire thing. So not really helping such kind of big opening preparation. This is black to play here. So everyone take the screenshot and post it in group. The clue is find the best defense for black.
I've learned most of the openings by myself, and a few of them I have learned by memorizing the moves, maybe against Catalan or something like that from black side. And a lot of times I've never understood why a specific move is played until I've played the same opening many times. So it happens with me at some point, I forget the line variation and I try to recollect it. So what I learned today is instead of trying to recollect whatever we have memorized, we should think on the board and calculate, turn on our brain. Definitely this will help me a lot.
Yes. So yes, you have to think. I mean, over the board, if you forget, don't try to recollect, because if you recollect only, you will only curse yourself.
Yeah, it has happened with me a lot of times. Like
yes, it is better. See, it is better to accept yourself stupid than it is to curse yourself. Because if you curse yourself, you are devaluing yourself and you are underestimating yourself. And if you underestimate yourself, the consequences are like downward spiral winding.
Yeah. So
you should never self-criticize. I mean, in home, when you are preparing in training mode, you can be very critical about yourself. But during the game, you should have more confidence. I mean, if you spend a lot of energy in scolding by scolding yourself, then it is, in simple words, it is not good. When the critical position occur, you will have less confidence over yourself. If if you have so much, if you have criticized yourself, if you are not feeling good about yourself, when the critical moment arrive, you will have less confidence within you.